Szomjaztam. Na, 2 bölény és egy antilop. A mai eddigi elejtett vad. Csak egy fatuskó. Ez pulyka. Sötétedik már? Nem, még csak 3/4. 12, felhős az ég. De legalább nem esik. Aztán majd kellene valami nagyobb, erősebb fegyver. Előveszem a puskát, hát ha itt hirtelen kiugrik valami. A puma nem tudom, hogy hol van. Puma egyébként klassz 5-ös. .243-assal simán lehet lőni. Na. Vagy 420 g most nyilvesszővel. Először azt hittem, hogy itt van ez a Bighorn Sheep, hogy az a muflon, de nem, hasonlít rá, de kanadai vadjú. Na, mindjárt ott vagyunk. Kíváncsi vagyok, milyen lesz a kilátás. Nem, hogy nem tudok felmenni, ne szívass.
You found the tower. There's hopefully a free shelf inside, somewhere you can stash the supplies. Oh, you should hang on to a couple of the flyers though.
Ne szívass, hadd menjek már fel. Jó a betyárját. Ez komoly. Hű. Itt aztán van kilátás, meg rálátás. Jó van, kutya. Ülj le. Tök jó, hogy süt a napot, meg felhős azért a táj. Nagyon jó. Hát ma itt is felhős. Na, menj már. Jaj, metroppant a csuklom. Na, hát megjöttünk. De lerakjuk a dolgokat.
That tower should have everything it needs now. How's the view from up there? It's great to have a hunter like yourself around. I'm grateful for your help with the supplies. I can't wait to hear your Silver Ridge hunting stories. Things have been quiet here recently, but with a hunter of your caliber on the reserve, we're gonna show folks that this is still the best place in the Rockies to hunt. Plus, you're not the only one working with us. We were able to convince Remy Warren to visit, and he's been logging his solo hunts out here for a week or so. He's got a pretty decent following online, so hopefully he's impressed with the reserve. When I proposed using social media to promote the reserve, the board were a little hesitant. But they're giving us a chance to try something new, and I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Okay.
So I suppose you were wondering why I wanted you to grab the flyers, right? There are people who come out here just to visit the lake. I'm fine with people standing on the shore, but until we know exactly what's going on, we need to keep people out of it. I had these flyers made up so we can pin them to our bulletin boards. There's a trail that leads straight to the lake, so I'd like you to pin up one of these flyers at the trailhead. Now, the flyers cover the basics: heavy metals, mining waste, and why to avoid diving in. It's not much, but until we know more, it's all we have. The lake is beautiful, and it's always pulled in visitors. It still looks the same as it ever did. Maybe even better, now that it's calm and peaceful.
Okay.
But now, I can't look at it without seeing what it did to my dad, or what it's doing to the reserve. People discover that we have one contaminated lake and assume that the reserve isn't worth visiting anymore. So far, the local wildlife seems okay, but our bookings for visitors, and especially hunters, have dried up. I have a few contingency plans that I want to try out. I'm a little nervous, though, as our board can be a little conservative. And if my ideas don't involve pulling in hunters, it can be really tricky to get them on board. It was easier to convince the board to invite yourself and Remy into the reserve, given that you're both hunters with good reputations. I'm glad you said yes.
Oké, oda kell elmenni. Oda még gyorsan elmegyünk. Oké. Ja, oké. Oké. Egyébként itt sokat nem fedeztem fel. Mi? Azt se fedeztem fel. Ez sem. Jó. Olyan sok minden nem maradt ki egyébként. Mississippi-n.
Hey, nothing wrong with a bit of light exercise. But don't forget that if I can hear you breathing, then the animals certainly will. Hunting is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll need to get well acquainted with the dirt if you want to cut the distance between yourself and an animal. Stay low, stay calm, and make your approach.
Oké, de
A
azt...
job well done should be a job well paid. This lifestyle is not cheap.
Még nincs olyan opció, hogy lehet lassan sétálni. Amikor... Az nagyon jó lenne. Még csak Google-val lehet lassan sétálni, amikor... Úgyhogy nem látsz ki a fűből. Tök jó lenne, hogyha lenne egy lassú séta. Ami mondjuk felekkora zajjal járna. Na mindegy. Oké.
One down, one to go. Keep following the trail to the lake.
Itt most elég kihalt minden.
Tracks are my go-to source for insight into animals in the reserve. Species, number, mood. You can learn a lot about them before you've ever spotted anything.
Csináljuk meg, mert addig nem hagy nyugodni.
One thing I've learned the hard way is that if you can hear yourself shuffling around, so can your prey. Use the brush to conceal yourself, but don't rely on it to get close.
Itt. Aha. Ajajajajaj. Ajajaj, mennyiből
I
él?
start glassing as soon as I get the opportunity.
Meg mennyi mi ez itt?
Preferably from a high vantage point. It might give you an idea where to look, or could even reveal your next target.
Egy 3-as. Egy 4-es. Az a 4-es, az de jó lenne. Pont rossz irányba vagyok. Gyertek vissza!
Look, we've all been there. Out in the backcountry, no hot shower for miles. You're bound to get a little smelly. Just remember, there are ways of masking it.
Ja, bekerültem a szélbe. Megpróbálkozunk a pulykával. Ez jön felém. Az baj, hogy ez a 4-es meg megy el.
Now's your chance. My plan of attack: stay calm, wait for the animal to stop moving, and line up your shot. Do everything in your power to make a quick, clean kill.
Köszi! Köszi a tanácsot! Annál jobban nem is lehetnék szélbe. Na jó. Puskával meg nem lövök rá, mert nem kapok értelme jót. A jó
It's easy to
pontot.
flub a shot at the last second if you're not paying attention to your breathing. And what a waste of effort that is. Hold, exhale, and squeeze.
Hoho. Te pulyka, ne menj el. Ó, szerintem nem lett meg. Szerintem földbe lőttem. Te pulyka, miért ilyen jó a szemed?
Take a look at the water. If I hadn't told you, would you suspect that the lake was dangerous?
Pulyka, az nem lett meg. Pulyka az elsúnyogott. Na jó. Azért...
Stalking an animal is an imitation game, so I always pack my collars. Give it a reason to come to you.
Megkérdezem a kutyát, hogy talál-e valamit, de... Szerintem semmit. Ja, semmit. Na jó, egyébként ez egy jó helynek tűnik. Van itt minden is.
We might not be able to monitor the lake 24/7, but at least now people have been warned. Thanks for taking care of that. It's such a strange feeling to be publicizing the very issue that is hurting us at the moment. I know it's the responsible thing to do, but it still feels slightly like self-sabotage. Our summer season has already started, and normally this whole area would be covered with hikers. I've only seen a handful of people in the reserve recently. I'm sure that things will pick up eventually, but every day I'm reminded that my dad was the major driving force behind this place. It's just bad timing, I suppose. We'd had some other issues with one of the board members, but that's in the past. The best thing to do is to keep pushing forward. I've got some big plans to help turn things around. Who knows? Maybe we'll have this place at full strength by the time my dad gets back in the saddle.
Nice job. A good hunter always has something new to learn.
I'm talking a lot about family stuff, aren't I? I suppose work and family are the same thing for me, you know? I've been watching my dad do this job since I was a kid. Let's change the subject, shall we? I've got a job that I'd like you to take care of. The big plans I mentioned before? One of these plans is a little passion project of mine. We're gonna need some gear. Repelling gear, actually. I have stashed a few bags at one of the nearby outposts, and I'd like you to head over there and pick them up, when you can. I've been doing adventure sports for about 10 years or so now. It started with bouldering and rock climbing while I was on a high school trip. Last year, I got an accreditation as an instructor, and I was planning on teaching classes. When my dad got ill, I put it on the back burner. But now, I think we have a good opportunity to commit to it. Unfortunately, I'm a little too busy to teach classes just now. But one of my base jumping friends, Sammy, took the same course as me, so she's gonna lead the class instead.
Na, csak befejezte. Szóval a következő feladat oda eljutni, de az nem most lesz, az majd a következő részben. Úgyhogy a mai egyenleg az ugye 2 bölény és egy villásszarvú antilop. Ennyi volt. Innen fogjuk folytatni. Elmegyünk majd oda, szétnézünk, közben biztos, hogy sikerül valamit elejteni. Köszönöm szépen a figyelmet, Leidus voltam, legyetek jók, sziasztok!